County Legislature's regular May meeting. We're going to start the meeting off with a public hearing. Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that the Oswego County Legislature shall hold a public hearing on proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 2, 2023, entitled "The Local Law Allowing Eligible Volunteer Firefighters and Volunteer Ambulance Workers to Receive a Real Property Tax Exemption under Real Property Tax Law 466A." The 11th day of May 2023 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon of said day at the Oswego County Legislative Chambers, County Office Building, 4060 Spring Street, Oswego, New York. Copies of the proposed local law are available in the clerk of the legislator's office at 4060 Spring Street, Oswego, New York, and also available online at oswegocounty.com. By order of the Oswego County Legislature, dated April 13, 2023, Betsy Sherman Saunders, clerk. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 2 of 2023, please step forward and state your name.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'd like to call Kurt Fisher forward. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. You have the podium. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Kurt Fisher. I am currently chair of the Oswego County Fire Advisory Board, and have a couple comments we would like to submit regarding the law. Certainly the fire service is very much in support of adoption of this law. It's a major step forward in a method to support recruitment and retention of the badly needed members that are needed across the fire service, not only in Oswego County, but across the country. Having said that, there are a couple concerns we do have with the law as proposed that we would like to bring forward. The first is that the state law allowed that the exemption be granted to a person who is a member, who has been a member for anywhere from 2 to 5 years. It's currently written, the law is at 5 years. We have a concern with that in that the major attrition of membership actually happens in the 2 to 5 year window. Many people come in, they join, they start getting active. There's a lot of demands in those first few years, and they end up not hanging in there after that 5th year. So having this benefit kick in at the 2-year level hopefully will be one incentive to encourage people that once they started putting that time in to continue on beyond. And our experience tends to be once people get past the 5 years, there tends to be a lower attrition rate once they get to that point. The second we have is the proposal includes a requirement for the fire coordinator to certify members as being eligible. The state law authorizing enactment of the property tax exemption already requires the authority having jurisdiction to certify the members as eligible for the benefit. The authorities having jurisdictions are the town boards, the village boards, and the fire advisory board, or the Board of Fire Commissioners. So they are elected officials who are responsible for overseeing operation of all the fire departments across the county. So we feel that the fact that they are the ones that are actually certifying by law that people are eligible, they are in a better position to do that. For one, they have access to the information because they oversee each of the individual fire departments. The other thing is they have authority over them, which is not true. The fire coordinator is a coordinator, but does not have any authority over the fire departments, for example, to say I have to have that information or whatever. And given the sheer number of members, we're looking at hundreds in the county, for the fire coordinator to be able to certify each one of them does not really add any level of assurance beyond what the authority having jurisdiction is already going to be doing is required by the state law. They have the data and they have the influence over the individual departments to ensure that the members that are submitted are actually eligible. So that's our comments, and we appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Are there any other persons wishing to be heard regarding the volunteer firemen and volunteer ambulance workers proposed law?
Mr. Chairman, there being no other persons wishing to be heard, I request to declare the public hearing closed at 2:12.
Thank you. Now welcome to the regular portion of our main meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yernan.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holst.
Here.
Roy Rehill has been marked excused. John Martino has been marked excused. Frank Mabardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro. Here. Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Nathan Emmons.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Laura McGann has been marked excused. Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Schad.
Here.
District 20 is vacant. Noel Samuelson.
Here.
James Carassa.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castelia.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 present, 4 excused, and 1 vacant. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you now please lead us in the invocation?
As we come together today, let us be grateful for the opportunity to live in America and to serve our community, for the chance to make a difference in the lives of our loved ones and the citizens of Oswego County, for the gift of each day in the company of good and decent people, and for the examples of courage and dedication to live out each day. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Now the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on, this is a slightly different meeting in that we had a vacancy. At this point, before we consider our first resolution, I would just like to say a quick word. Last month, we appointed former legislator Tim Stahl as Director of Community Development, Planning, and Tourism. Today, we'll be appointing his replacement, Mr. Paul Conley. Conley will fill the vacated seat in District 20 and represent the people of the town of Oswego. Mr. Conley's appointment followed years of precedent by this body, and in fact, there's a few of us here today who were first seated in this similar manner. Once this appointment is approved, we're going to do a brief swearing in to make it official. And now, Legislator Holst, could you introduce Resolution GC1?
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing an individual to fill a vacancy in the office of county legislature in and for the 20th legislative district.
Okay, the committee is one to bring the name of Paul Conley as a committee organization.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 4 excused, and 1 vacant.
Would Mr. Conley please come forward?
Thank you.
I, Paul Conley,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States of America
to support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and to faithfully discharge the duties
and to faithfully discharge the duties
of Oswego County Legislator
of Oswego County Legislature
for the 20th District.
for the 20th District.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Legislator Conley.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. Perhaps Legislator Stahl could show him to his seat.
How are you?
And then, Mr. Stahl, would you come forward? While he's signing the oath of office, we burn your cards. Thank you. I think we all know legislator, ex-legislator Stahl. I want to take a quick moment to recognize former, he didn't tell you where to actually go?
No, we're good.
He said he forgot. Otherwise, it's no good.
So just take a quick moment to recognize former legislator Stahl. More than 7 years in office, and has certainly made his mark on this legislative body. And as chair of the Economic Development and Planning Committee, Tim has spearheaded a number of priority projects to improve Oswego County. And we're thrilled that he has joined us full-time to lead important economic development and planning projects as we prepare for the arrival of Micron and others. We have here Mr. Stahl, the flag.
1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I want to thank you all. It has been my absolute honor and pleasure to serve with all of you. I really think we've done some incredible work in the years that I've been here. I'm excited. I know Legislator Connolly is going to do an amazing job. I'm very excited to hear from him about the cool stuff that's going to be going on. But again, thank you all. I've been able to see every one of you and the selfless work that you put in. And just how genuinely you care about the residents of this county and the future of this county. So again, thank you for letting me be part of that. Thank you to the town of Oswego, my constituents there. I've really enjoyed working with them and for them, and I look forward to being able to be here all day, every day to help get the work done that you folks put together. So thank you again.
Thank you. Under a recent development, Mr. Stahl, if you're looking for your pen, Legislator Castilla took it. Thank you.
Repeat it all.
I trust we had a moment to look at the minutes of the Oswego County Legislature regular meeting. So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor and 4 against.
Thank you. Moving now to some recognitions. Could I have the Health Director, Vera Dunsmore, Tina Bourgeois, and the Health Committee please come forward.
You guys be right there. Okay, you two, Mark and me, over on this side. Try to balance things out a little bit. Jill, do you want to come here?
Oh, thanks, guys. Like all they're over, and they're saying just stay right here.
I'll take 2, 3, 2, 1. And again, 3, 2, 1.
So, Tina's been with us for 30 years. There was a typo on the program because it said retired. We don't allow her to do that. She's done an amazing job at the health department and been a leader in instructing others, walking through everything. It is a major loss to lose her to the department. I think anytime you lose that kind of an experience in any of our departments, we suffer a little bit, and hopefully she's done a really good job of training everybody else how to follow the same exact habits and practices that she has done, I think, very well.
Tina, you know how I feel about you. You are amazing,
your service and dedication that you've shown this community is second to none. I wish you the best in your next chapter. And thank you from everyone and your community. Thank you.
I don't know if you heard the comment, she said, I think I've vaccinated more than half of the people.
I think all and maybe 2 or 3 times over again, so yeah.
Jody would like to say
Go ahead, Joe.
So I was Tina's supervisor, but she trained me from the moment I started at the health department 15 years ago. It'd be hard to find somebody in the county that she hasn't vaccinated, or their child, or their family member. We still have people calling, asking for Tina. They would call and see if she was working the vaccination clinic. If they didn't, if she wasn't there, they wouldn't come until she was there. It's a huge loss for the health department. Everybody knew her. Her energy in the health department just was next level. Normally, if you did get vaccinated by her, she'd punch you in the arm and be on her way. So after 30 years, she's still working with the county. She's now a court attendant at the jail.
And I love it, oh my God.
Don't explain that.
It's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Very much.
My left.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have the Public Safety Committee and Tom Alton from ABA come forward if he's here? Let's come forward, please.
Going to this side.
Good to see you. Thanks, Mark.
Yes. Nice to meet you. Yeah. I did. And Linda and I we got moved around.
The county's in such good hands.
3, 2, 1. And another one. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
All right, stand by, I gotta read this proclamation. All right. Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Whereas the thrill and economy of riding motorcycles are increasing their frequency on roads and highways and driving the need for us all to remember a few safety tips as motorcycle season arrives again. And whereas motorcycles are more difficult to see in traffic than other vehicles and are less stable when challenged by uneven road surfaces and debris. And whereas car drivers are responsible for over 2/3 of car motorcycle accidents, reminding us all that motorists need to be especially alert for motorcycles at intersections and heavy traffic and when making left-hand turns. And whereas we commend Oswego County American Bikers Aim Toward Education, so I tried to memorize it, for helping to educate motorists regarding the special operation techniques of motorcycles and fostering a better understanding of the importance of fully obeying New York State traffic laws. And whereas all motorists can help reduce risk by ensuring the safe operation of their vehicles, and through accounting for the special characteristics of motorcycling, our roads will be a safer place for all of our families. Now, therefore, Senator Weatherup, myself, and the rest of the legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the citizens of Oswego County, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Congratulations.
riding season, and with the riding season, with the help of the community, a safe riding season.
Amen. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Could I have the Human Services Committee please come forward, along with Aging Services Administrator Paula Rome.
Should have just camped up. Oh, you're the fellow in there. You gotta get in there. Right.
Do you have to read it? I will.
Yeah.
All right, so Older Americans Month is celebrated each May, and it's a time for us to acknowledge the contributions and achievements of older Americans, highlight important trends, and strengthen our commitment to honoring our older citizens. Older Americans Month was created in 1963, and we recognize 2023 as its 60th anniversary. This year's theme is Aging Unbound, promoting the importance of enjoying independence and fulfillment by paving our own paths as we age. Some ways we can all participate in Aging Unbound include embrace the opportunity to change, find a new passion, go on an adventure, and push boundaries by not letting age define your limits. Explore the rewards of growing older. With age comes knowledge, which provides insight and confidence to understand and experience the world more deeply. Stay engaged in your community. Everyone benefits when everyone is connected and involved. And form relationships. As an essential ingredient of well-being, relationships can enhance your quality of life by introducing new ideas and unique perspectives. The Office for the Aging is seeking nominations to recognize older Oswego County residents. There are nomination forms at the back on the table, and I hope you all take advantage to recognize an older resident in your district. And I want to thank the legislature for your continued support of the Office for the Aging, the work we do to assist our older residents remain in their homes safely. So thank you.
All right, Oswego County Legislature proclaiming May 2023 as Older American Month. Whereas Older American Month was established in 1963 by President John F. Kennedy, and since then the entire nation pays tribute in some way to the older person in their communities during the month of May. Whereas Oswego County includes growing numbers of older Americans who have built residences and strength over their lives through success and difficulties. Whereas Oswego County benefits when people of all ages, ability, and background are included and encouraged to share their success and stories and resilience. Whereas Oswego County recognizes our need to nurture ourselves, reinforce our strength, and continue to strive in times of both joy and difficulty. And whereas Oswego County can foster communities by strength, by creating opportunities to share stories, learn from each other, engage older adults through education, recreation, and service, and encouraging people of all ages to celebrate connection and resilience. Now, therefore, Mr. Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislators, on behalf of the entire legislators, do hereby proclaim May 23rd to be Older American Month, and encourage every resident to take time during this month to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of older adults to this community. Thank you.
Up here, guys. Again, with the Human Services Committee, this is Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. Not sure if we have anyone here. Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. Here we go. Mr. Stanley. Again.
He's like, I gotta read this again? I gotta read it again?
You did a wonderful job.
Little tip, stay up here after this one.
All right, second one. Oswego County Legislators proclaiming May 12, 2023 as Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. Whereas Integrated Communities Planning of Oswego County Incorporated and other organizations nationwide are recognizing child care providers on this day. And whereas an estimated 12.3 million children under the age of 6 nationwide spend more time in non-parental care arrangements on a weekly basis, which provides critical enrichment opportunities and nurtures development for children of all backgrounds and vital building block of our state economy. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has created tremendous hardship for children care providers and the families of New York who depend on them, who have continued to meet the needs of families, which risking their health, financial stability to remain open. And whereas Oswego County recognizes these hardships and is much needed relief to help sustain viability of children's care by addressing affordability, equitable access, and high quality coordinated systems of and for children care. Whereas our future depends on quality of early childhood experience provided to young children today, high quality earning child care services represents worthy commitment to our children's future. Now and therefore, Mr. Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislators, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby proclaim May 12, 2023 as Child Care Provider Appreciation Day, and encourage every resident to call upon all citizens to recognize child care providers for the important work and contributions to the happier and healthier tomorrow for all of our families. Thank you. I guess that's it. All right, thank you.
Kurt, stand. One more. Can I have Human Services right here? Can I have Marty Babcock, Sarah Finley, Rachel Philo, Shayna Taylor, Patricia Pennock, Wendy and Wade Smith, along with the Human Services Committee, come forward.
Yes, please.
Some water again? Give him a bottle of water, man. He needs a drink.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's in there. Just do it on camera.
Take two of those. In 3, 2, 1. And again. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Only for the pictures.
That's it. The Oswego County Legislators proclaiming May as National Foster Parent Appreciation Month. Whereas Oswego County recognizes the children of Oswego are our most precious resource and hope for the future, they deserve every opportunity for a safe and happy life. Whereas children in foster care need meaningful connection to caring adults who become supportive and lasting presence in their lives. Whereas approximately 200 Oswego County children are placed in foster care parent each month, and the both foster parent make great efforts to change the lives of the children in foster care by adding security, stability, and can make more of a significant difference in the growth of these children into adults. Whereas, with the help of these individuals and advocates and professionals that support them, many former abused and neglected children and teens reunite safely with their parents, are cared for by their relatives, or adopted by loving families. Whereas each May, National Foster Care Month provides an opportunity to shine the light on foster care system, raising awareness of the urgent need for these young people and encourage the citizens of every walk of life to get involved as foster or adoptive parents, volunteers, mentors, employers, or members of the community with the hope of changing a young life. And now, therefore, Mr. Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, hereby proclaim May as National Foster Parent Appreciation Month, and urge all citizens to join efforts to raise awareness for the thousands of children in foster care and to consider making a powerful difference in the life of a child.
So I just have to say that we have been here month after month, kind of reiterating that our children are our most precious resource. And unfortunately, in our line of work, we deal with a lot of families that are really struggling to keep their children safe. Patty Pennock heads our foster care unit over at DSS, and her team trains our foster parents, provides them with all the support that they need to get started as foster parents. And we also have some very special existing parents that have reached out to one another to provide support, to educate other people who might be thinking about becoming foster parents, so that they can kind of get an idea of what it really is like a day in the life of a foster parent. Beyond that, I also will encourage every adult to reach out and try to get to know the children in your community. For kids to have another adult who cares for them, who's interested in them and what their needs and wants are, and have their support, that's an amazing builder of their confidence and can help them potentially really meet their goals in the future. So keeping them safe and keeping crucial connected. So we can reach out and support families even before support is necessary. Right? Everybody struggles, every parent that I've ever met does. We just have to figure out a way to help them through. Okay.
Right now, we have a really big need for families to take in teenagers more than anything. We are desperate for families, so please, if you have any liking of a teenager, you know somebody who likes teenagers, tell them to call me. We have trainings going on all the time. We do the trainings at nights, we do them on weekends, we do whatever we can do to have safe places for our kids to go. My name and number is everywhere and all over the community. I have posters. Most of you have businesses, have put up posters in your business. I really appreciate that, but I'm getting panicked. I've been here for 34 years for the county, 34 years. And my number is 315-963-5382. Work Monday through Friday, typically, whatever I need to work, and Saturdays sometimes, and Sundays sometimes. Okay, so think about teenagers. Think about taking them home. Teenagers are our next resource of people to be supporting us. We need to provide them some structure. We need to provide them safe places to live. We've changed how we think about teenagers now from how we used to think about them. We used to think of as troubled kids when they were in foster care as a teenager. It's not the case now. They're in foster care because of their parents' issues when they're teenagers. So please, think about taking in one of those kids as a teen. We really, really need it.
And it's always best to be able to keep our children at home within our communities, rather than having to send them into other counties or sometimes even into other states, depending on the level of care that they need. So it's time to support each other and support your neighbors.
Because the kids come back, that's why we want, they come back, so they need to know people they can reach out to for help. Because all of us growing up, we reached out to other people. Teenagers need people to grow up and reach out to too. Very supportive.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Under introduction to visitors, Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, department heads, and guests. It's with great honor and pleasure that I have the opportunity to introduce Pulaski Middle School government class that I was fortunate to spend this morning with, touring the building and talking with several of the department heads. They're here in the chamber today with us with their instructor, Joe Truex, and her assistant, Ms. Margaret. And if you guys could just stand up for a minute. And here's our future government for Oswego County.
Thank you, and I would add, it's not always this boring. Again, another introduction to visitors. The next visitor to be introduced is the former representative of an area that Legislator Scanlon currently holds. She did very well for us, as Jay does also, Representative Legislator Schott.
It's an honor and pleasure to introduce Amy Trusetter, legislator for the 16th District for 6 years in the city of Oswego, dear friend and great legislator.
Thank you. Moving now to public speakers on resolutions of the day. Jessica Steele, should come forward. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Oh, I don't have an hour and 5 minutes.
Kids are already bored.
All right. I'm talking on Resolution HS5. This is the reclassification of the account clerk position to the senior account clerk. Essentially, Let me rewind. My name is Jessica Steele. I'm a social welfare examiner at the Oswego County Department of Social Services. Thank you for letting me speak today, and what a beautiful day. We've had plenty of rain and plenty of cool weather, so God bless us for this weather. Anyhow, so I'm speaking on Resolution HS5, which is the reclassification of the account clerk position to a senior account clerk. This is the same job, just increased pay. What I call for is all employees at DSS have their jobs reclassified. We all deserve to earn a fair wage to meet the cost of living that it takes to live in this county. When determining raises, you don't carry the same standards or considerations. You have no protocol in place determining increased wages, reclassifications, or title increase. All of these are different ways of just saying increased wages. I completely understand different jobs require different evaluations, but there should be some standards applied to all increases, and we have none in place that I've been made aware of. You continue to give yourself and department heads raises, and I keep explaining as I come to meetings how much we need this. And I'm not sure if you're hearing me, so today I brought a visual. So the Social Security Administration stated that this year we needed an 8% COLA increase, right? So this is on average what the county legislators gave themselves for a raise, okay? This is what corrections got for a raise. And this is what we at DSS got for a raise. Over the last 7 years, the Oswego County Legislature has given themselves a 42% pay raise. Has any other county employee received this pay raise? Anybody else in the county? This is a need that we have, and you're trying to meet it for yourselves, but why can't you meet it for us? We serve, as I've stated multiple times, the vulnerable population of this community. I don't understand, do you not understand what we do? Is it because we're mainly a female workforce? I just don't understand how our pleas keep going unanswered. I do have some upcoming scheduling conflicts, so you guys will be happy to know I might not be ever meeting. Moving forward, what I'm going to do starting now, in addition to coming meetings when I can, every week I am going to write a letter. I'm going to write a letter to the Oswego County Administrator's Office, I'm going to write a letter to Albany, and I'm going to write a letter to Washington, D.C. In each of these letters every week, I am going to request an investigation into the pay inequity in this county. That may go unanswered, that may go unanswered for a year, 2 years, but eventually, hopefully, that letter is going to fall into the right hands. I have 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and that was on that. But I quickly would just like to bring to your attention, Mr. Chairman, we have quite a few employees at DSS right now that have not been given their COVID bonuses. I don't know if anybody's been reached out to you about that. But there is one woman, she worked 738 days of that COVID period, and the person who took her position worked 22 days, and she's being denied her bonus because she's only there part-time now. If you could please, and the legislators, look into that, I would greatly appreciate it on behalf of my coworkers that did not receive that COVID stipend, because it really is much needed. It helps, we need more, but every little bit helps right now. Thank you for your time, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Enjoy the beautiful day.
And thank you to Jessica Steele. We will look into that. Thank you. Reports of county officials. Thank you. Any reports of the standing committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to do a report. I think last month, Legislator Reedhill suggested that those of us that are the legislative member of standing committees should give out some information so that not only the legislature, but the visitors would be able to know a little bit about what we're doing in Oswego County. Mine is, the committee that I'm referencing is the Tourism Committee, and there are two things that I would like to address. First off, I would like to acknowledge that we won the Tourism Department won the 2022 New York State Tourism and Excellence Award for printed material. This is something that is a New York State award, and it is an award that they get voted on by their peers. And this is a huge thing. Now, if those of you, it's the fishing and hunting guide, there's copies of it back there. If you do not fish or hunt, I can almost guarantee you, if you look at this, you're gonna second guess it. And not only are you gonna second guess, should I fish or hunt, I wanna do it in Oswego County. It's a fantastic publication, and I want to recognize the entire committee department, but especially I'd like to recognize David Owen. He is our design specialist, and where is the award? We wanted to get that, and I think it's well deserved. He's been, so thank you very much. The second thing that I wanted to just speak on a little bit, let everybody know about the tourism conference that was held in Oswego County last, April 18th to 15th, no, 18th to 21st, I've been kind of backwards one now. 18th to 21st, right here in Oswego. Now this is an annual conference. Last year it was in Manhattan. This year was in Oswego, and when we had it here in Oswego, we broke all-time records. We had the highest attendance as any other annual conference. Now, what we contained in that, okay, they prepared shuttle bus tours to all of our different museums, from the Safe Haven of Holocaust Museum, the Sport Ontario, H. Lee Memorial, tours along the canal. We had panel discussions. We had local vendors providing tastings. They were giving baskets, tastings. They also had, they recruited local restaurants to give out discounts to the conventioneers so they could have a dinner out on us. The panel discussions, one was led by our own Bill Church here, and that was in regards to the proposed Lake Ontario National Marine Sanctuary. Very well received, and in fact, what it left it was that it's a transformational potential for this community and for our future generations. Another one panel that we did was on sustainability, and that was led by David Turner. And the panel, what they were talking about was the green energy that we have here in Oswego County, and the commitment to preserve all of our natural resources that are used for tourism, recreation, and local economies. The Underground Railroad gave another panel. Hospitality. Now, I know, yes, we have panels, we have that, but we have to have obviously some kind of entertainment. So the Broadwell Hospitality Guide, they provided music every night for them. They did wonderful food. Now, the food is an important part of these conferences, and food that was presented was so good that for the first time in the history of the conference, when at the very last day they brought out the executive chef, he got a standing ovation. I mean, you've got to say the food's going to be darn good. Comments that people made. Oswego County sets itself apart that they had a live, fresh, entertaining, great learning experience. They felt like they were somebody special. Our people gave them extra time to think of the little things. And most importantly, there was a lot of comments that said it inspired us to come back, not just as a group, but as an individual. So I say that this conference embodies more than just tourism. It is more than just recreation. What it is, it has people not come here to visit, but actually brings people to stay. So I say this was a fantastic economic planning, development, marketing opportunity. And I say kudos to our tourism department. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports of special committees. Thank you. Moving now to resolutions and motions, government courts and consumer affairs, resolution GC2 by legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of an intermunicipal agreement by and between the County of Oswego and the New York State Office of Information Technology Services, NYS, OITS, and the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, NYS, DHES, contract number X050055.
Okay, this is where the state of New York is offering to facilitate, cover the cost of licensing for the endpoint detection software response software. for the county and providing the related services which will benefit the county and service a person no cost to the county.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Jethro.
Mr. Chairman, given the fact that we have a new legislator here this evening, Legislator Connolly, in order to fully immerse him in all the different things that we do here, we have different types of votes. At this time, I would like to request a roll call vote.
Thank you. Have a roll call vote, and I would add for the class that's here, not every vote goes by roll, but this particular one will be. We'll call attendance and they will give their vote at that point. So, any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Michael Yurden.
Yes.
Herbert Yurden.
Yes.
Edward Gilson.
Yes.
David Bowles.
Yes.
Roy Greenhouse, been marked excused. John Martino's been marked excused. Frank Bombardo.
Yes.
Paul House.
Yes.
James Weatherup.
Yes.
Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Yes.
Linda Lockwood.
Yes.
Richard Klein.
Affirmative.
Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole.
Yes.
Nathan Emmons.
Yes.
James Scanlon.
Yes.
Lori Mangano has been marked excused. Robert Wilmot.
Yes.
Marie Schad.
Yes.
Paul Conley.
Yes.
Noel Samuelson.
Yes.
James Karasik.
Yes.
Michael Soloway.
Yes.
Mark Greco.
Yes.
Frank Castilla.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the GC3 resolution, it's a firefighter exemption that we did have a public hearing on. Volunteer firefighters fill a critical role in our communities, and the departments have struggled in recent years to recruit new members. This measure, if approved, would provide a small property tax exemption to volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers in Oswego County. We can't thank these folks enough for their hard work and sacrifice, and if and when approved, this will be a small token of our appreciation that we're hopeful will have a positive impact on our departments. Having said that, there's some information that came up today in the public hearing, and along with some other information that we want to give some credit and some thought to, so we're going to pull this resolution for today. Moving now to Resolution GC4 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing public defender for Oswego County.
This is where Louis Lombardi of Oswego, New York, is appointed to the position of public defender, effective immediately. Is compensated according to the management compensation plan for a salary of $197,761.
Thank you. We had brought in a public defender, Louis Lombardi, on a contractual basis earlier this year, and he's hit the ground running trying to set up a brand new department, which is not a small task. With this resolution, we're making his appointment official, and we're formally welcoming him to our staff. I'd like to thank Mr. Lombardi for his efforts thus far, and look forward to working with him. So again, any discussion?
I have a question.
It's really not in that format.
No, it can't.
I couldn't hear what he said when he read the resolution.
It's right up there. Well, it's on the board.
It didn't, there was an amount, I thought, like a,
$197,000.
okay, that's what it was, thank you, 197,000.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion from this side of the fence? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
All right, thank you. Moving to Resolution GC5 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing 2023 tax property auction.
These are all the properties listed coming up to auction. Auction will be held on June 9, 2023.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. This is simply authorizing our annual tax auction. There are about 75 properties scheduled for that auction. That's fewer properties than normal, which is potentially a good thing. That means folks, for whatever reason, are able to pay their property taxes, and the auction will be held online again, and registration opens tomorrow. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC6 by legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, on this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting title from the Oswego County Land Bank Corporation and conveying a portion of same to Gregory Pascal, 2744-48, U.S. Route 11, Town of Mexico.
This is some property that was sold, but because the auctioneer was not aware of a prior conveyance to the land bank, so it's going to be done.
It's a correction then, right? Right. Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC7 by legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, on this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one position in the public defender's office.
This is for the position of 1171, 111, 310, of Assistant Public Defender, grade 60 in the Management Personnel Compensation Plan. We reclassify the public defender, social worker, specialist, grade 40, and the OCPA union.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Then moving on to the Public Safety Committee, Resolution PS1 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one position in the district attorney's office.
Now, this is, I'd like to promote a typist to senior typist.
Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. When this came through committee, I was in favor, but I'm still in favor of this resolution. But I've done a little research on the amount of salaries that this person is going to be receiving and the grade level that they're at. And piggybacking off of what Jessica just spoke of a few minutes ago, recruitment and retention is what we're looking for in this county all the time. That's what we hear. We need to attract more people, we need to retain people. And this position, the salary will take it to $31,759 a year, which is $4,000 below the average cost of living in Oswego County. So therefore, in order for that person to come up to the average cost of living in Oswego County for one person, they would have to receive a salary of $20 an hour. I don't know what grade that would be. I asked for a copy of the grades for all the people that were being promoted today or reclassified today. But I would like to make a motion here on the floor now to move this position to a grade level that would give it a $20 an hour pay raise, which would mean that it would be equal to, or maybe a couple $100 more than the average cost of living in this county. We want to get people off the public assistance roles. We don't want to have to hire them and then have them still be on the public assistance role. And for that reason, I make that motion now to have that done.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Legislator Scott seconds. Any discussion regarding amending?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out that this employee has been with us less than 6 months, and this is the district attorney's intent to retain this person by promoting him from titles to senior titles.
Okay, this, I would assume, sir, this is the salary she agreed to?
It's a he, yes.
He. Okay. Legislator Castillo.
Well, I'd like to know what grade level we'd have to move this person to. Is there somebody here from Human Services, from Human Rights?
Yes, we have someone from HR here. I'm not sure she has that.
Let me know what that.
I'm not sure she has that chart with her.
I don't have my chart, but I mean, the typist and senior typist is graded, both graded titles within the
I don't, we can reclassify people and give them a grade 7 or a grade 9 or a grade 10, but we can't do this now. Is that what we're saying? We just did it. That wasn't negotiated.
Well, this particular position, senior typist, is a grade 5 within the co-op plan. If it was reclassified to any other, it would have to be looked at, regarding the duties and the qualifications, what the DA wants to reclassify it to.
So, let me understand this, grade 5 is the highest that the senior typist can go to?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that that's part of a union negotiation?
It is.
And that that would involve reopening negotiations?
Yes.
Thank you. Legislator Bill.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have a process we follow. Department heads have looked at this, committees looked at this. I think it would not behoove us to start negotiating individual salaries on this legislative floor. So I'll be against the amendment.
Thank you. And that quite probably would be an issue for executive session. Any other discussion? Legislator Mastini.
I don't understand why we, wouldn't want to discuss it here on the floor where the public can see what is being discussed. In the fact that they're the ones that are getting the service. And I understand what you're saying, that it has to be negotiated with the union. But when we're doing what we're doing today, so many different classes, so many different upgrades and reclassifications, it's just, we want people to make a cost, we want them to have a living in this county. We don't want to have people say, no, I don't want to take the job because I'll lose my benefits.
Thank you. That's a discussion for a different format and quite possibly executive session. Any other discussion to the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 or 1 in favor, 20 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Back to the original resolution then. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution PS2 by legislator Greco.
Yes, this is, I offer this resolution recommended adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Sheriff's Office, transfer from Insurance Recovery, Treasurer's Office to Automotive Supplies and Repair Road Division.
Yeah, this is a result of an auto accident. They'd like to take the insurance check and put it back to their
Please stand.
standard.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by legislator Greco.
Chairman, I offer this resolution recommended adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Sheriff's Office, for purchase of full body scanners.
This is in the amount of $162,000 for the scanner. A grant was provided thanks to somebody in Will Barkley's office for $100,000 of that portion and $62,000 to come out of fund balance.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS4 is a resolution that will be introduced by legislator Greco. It's to eliminate probation fees. I would urge all of you to strongly oppose this proposal from Albany that would prohibit our probation department from collecting fees. Our representatives in the capital region, time and time again, have forced unfunded mandates upon us, compelling our taxpayers to pay for unpopular policies. More often, Albany forces us to comply with costly programs or cumbersome regulations without providing funding. But in this case, they're actually attempting to tell us we cannot charge for services rendered. In Oswego County, our probation department only collects fees from DWI offenders. It's not a huge sum of money, but it's another attempt from Albany to make life easier for those who break the law and punish law-abiding citizens. Having said that, resolution PS4 by legislator Greco.
Offer this resolution and recommended adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution opposing S6282, eliminating probation fees.
And I would agree with everything the chairman just said, and urge everyone to vote for opposing this bill.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstentions.
Thank you. Moving now to Human Services Committee, Resolution HS1 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, furniture and furnishings.
Thank you.
This resolution is for, they're revamping some of the office space out there for the cubicles into workable office space that they could use for meetings and small rooms.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing creation of 1 part-time caseworker aide position in the Department of Social Services.
Thank you.
This is a time where they have someone who can work part-time for them. They need to be able to hire them and get them going. So they're moving them in to a full-time, they're using a full-time position to hire them in, and that they will be still considered a part-time employee. And will hopefully, as time works out, they'll be using them for transporting of children. So, you know, it's a worthy need that needs to be.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, again, I'd like to know, is grade 5 the highest that grade can go for that position?
Perhaps.
Anybody from Human Services tell me that?
HR? Do you have an answer?
Yeah, currently that particular title, piece of grade is classified as grade 5 within the co-op agreement.
So it can't go any higher than 5?
Not without negotiating with the union.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, Legislator Walpole has lodged the vote as 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing creation of 3 temporary full-time typists and 1 temporary part-time typist in the Department of Social Services.
Thank you.
Yes, these folks are going to be used temporarily as typists to scan cases and support files over the next few months. They're looking at it lasting until about August to September, from what I remember correctly, hopefully. And they bring these people in, get them scanned, open up some free space that they direly need at the Department of DSS, and hopefully they'll move on from there.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Again, I'm in favor of the work that these people are going to be doing. And it's very important work, I'm sure. And it takes a lot of talent to be able to do what they're going to have to do it properly. But at $16 an hour, that's a little bit over $1 more than the minimum wage. And I can't see, do we have retired people that are going to come in and take these jobs? Do we have students in high school that are going to come in and take these jobs? I just can't see this being a plus for us getting people into the workforce.
Thank you. Legislator Gilson.
I revoke my question.
Thank you. Legislator Perez.
I work with an agency that does scanning. It's not a complex position. It's very easy to do. I think that the reason it brought up in the committee meeting was this will clear up a lot of floor space for DSS as they continue to rebuild themselves and bring new people on. They'll be able to accommodate that. Also, the scanning process eliminates bigger possibilities under HIPAA that a file would be misplaced and someone else would see it and shouldn't see it, or have it and shouldn't have it. Positions are there. Once the scanning is done, the positions are done.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Again, I know the need for this job. I know what it's going to do. But to demean the job and say that it's a simple task to do, I take offense to that, and I say that we should be looking to pay a higher grade for this. I don't know what the grade would be, but I certainly it could be at least a 5. But I don't want to go through this union deal and everything else. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Legislator Evans.
Mr. Chairman, I think the good legislator brings up some fair points in terms of pay, but I also got to believe that he's been around here long enough to actually understand the processes in which we go through in terms of contract negotiations, in terms of setting pay grades and salaries and associating them with certain positions. So I'm a little confused right now as to why he's failing to use his memory here and understanding how the process really works. I mean, we can't openly discuss contracts on the floor of the legislature. We certainly can make points, right? We can make points, and we can try to do that and argue, in favor of higher wages and those sorts of things. But in terms of how these positions are set, how the pay rates are set, these are done through negotiations. I think the legislator knows that and knows that coming on in. That's me, Kirk McElmartin, legislator. You've been around here long enough to understand the process and what takes place. And so I don't want the public to be confused here in terms of that particular piece of the puzzle and how we are here today deciding on these jobs. All of these positions have a pay grade associated with them. If you go above those pay grades, if you go above the grades that they're at, it's a different job at that point, right? And so we can't take a typist and put them at the same grade level as the public defender and say still do the typist position. We might want to. We might want to do that with all of our employees in terms of salary. We all know that that's not how it works. And maybe it should. I don't know. Maybe the legislator could propose a resolution to change the process in which we go through, fair or unfair. But I think he well knows that we don't negotiate contracts, we don't negotiate pay grades on the floor of the legislature. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I have my hand up.
Sorry, sir, I didn't catch it.
Was anyone opposed to that? Because I didn't catch that. No one opposed?
Opposed.
Did you oppose it?
No.
Okay, 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget amendment to Catholic Charities Transportation Services contract with the Department of Social Services.
This resolution, DSS relies on Catholic Charities drivers to transport children, both young and their parents, to and from supervised visitations, counseling appointments, court appearances, and other critical services. They have done a great job over the past 3 years. They're continuing for 2023 for most of it, and they will be, we're going to renew that contract, and we're going to increase the payment over the first 3 years of $28,216, or a 9% increase to help offset costs for transportation itself, the wages and the supplies for running the equipment and the equipment itself, the vehicles.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those, legislator Gilson.
Yeah, I would just note that this is budget neutral as money will be taken from monies that are available within that.
Thank you. Good point. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution HS5 by legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution. I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of account clerk to senior account clerk in the Department of Social Services.
This is a reclassification of an account clerk, senior account clerk, in the Oswego County Department of Social Services. Division of Employment.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS6 by legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, overtime.
This resolution is a modification to adult and family services workers overtime. This is an amount of $250,000 projected to meet the needs throughout the end of 2023.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Yeah, I would note again, Mr. Chairman, that this is a $250,000 budget neutral expense because the money is available in salaries and wages and not affected.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS7 by legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the County of Oswego to accept a donation from the Workforce Development Institute, WDI, of $1,000 as a lunch sponsor for the Oswego County Youth Career Summit.
It's just as it is, it's a donation for lunch at the Youth Center Summit, May 17th.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution HS8 by legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Office for the Aging, Shine, Snap, Ed.
Thank you. Legislator Scanlon.
This is an add of $33,184 to the budget. It's for the SHINE grant, which stands for the Senior Improvement in Nutrition Education, and I certainly urge its adoption.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Before we move on to Human Services, it's a related event in that, wait, the kids ain't gonna stick for this? This is fun.
We're just getting started.
Put them to sleep.
Again, thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Plus, then goes to cash.
Okay, thank you, but related to Human Services, there's a lot of information that's become up lately in the field that would be directly impacted by our Department of Social Services along with others, along with the state, or with the counties of Oneida, Chemung, Broome, and Onondaga. It is my intention to declare a state emergency relative to the busing of migrants out from New York City. I don't feel it's very fair that they're trying to make their problem into our problem. We're already at our max. We have no reasonable accommodations for more than we have right now. So just as a public information, that will probably be coming out soon from my office, just so that you're all aware. Moving now to Economic Development and Planning Committee, Resolution EP1 by Legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for a public hearing relative to the 8-year review of agricultural district.
Yes, every 8 years, the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets requires us to do a comprehensive review of all of our agricultural lands, and this is the time, if anyone that is presently in one, that they have an option to opt out of it, and this is setting a time for the public hearing.
Thank you. Any Oh, we will need to amend this. Apparently it says today at 2 o'clock. Resolution, so we'd like to amend. Whatever it's second is there.
We need to, I think the intention of this resolution is to set a hearing in June at the legislative meeting.
Yes.
So it reflects today at 2 o'clock. The last paragraph of resolve will need to be amended to reflect June meeting.
Then, Mr. Chairman, I would like to offer an amendment to this resolution to change it from May 11th to June 14th.
June meeting.
June meeting.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion relative to the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused for the amendment.
Thank you. So back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to Resolution EP2 by Legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption, but I also have an amendment for it, so should I do the amendment before I do this?
Yes. So we'd
Okay.
like to amend.
Yes, because this is the same thing, we need to amend it from May meeting to the June meeting.
June meeting. So it's a bit of an edit, but it does need to be amended. Any?
Second.
Second. We have a second on the amendment. Any discussion relative to the amendment? Legislator Shaw.
Not the amendment.
Okay, for the amendment, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused for the amendment.
All right, so thank you. Back
Back to the original one, yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge, as amended, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for a public hearing relative to the request of landowner inclusion within the existing certified agricultural district pursuant to New York State Agricultural Markets Law, AML, Section 303-B, as amended.
Yes, as this is an annual event, and what we do is we offer any landowners in Oswego County, if they would like to have their land in an agricultural district, they need to apply from March 1st to March 31st. The public hearing next month will bring a list of the people that have passed all of the qualifications, and we'll be offering them to go into an agricultural district.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I value our farmland. We have some of the finest in the nation. And I hope this forces a tough scrutiny on solar. It is hijacking our prime farmland for 60 years or longer. The cleanup is unknown, but very expensive and involved. Cuts down forest land and a great loss of our valuable farmland. I just hope we all keep that in mind.
Might not be germane to this particular.
No, I understand, but
You
it's
are correct.
with the farm.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution EP3 by Legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, planning, and community development, additional hours to implement various grant programs.
Yes, it's been brought to our attention that with the increased grants that are coming through and changes in the state, as well as the transitional period going from mobility management being taken care of in-house to our new Department of Mobility Management, there may be overtime needed. And I was also assured that if they do not use it all, it will go into the fund balance. Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I would just note, Mr. Chairman, this too is budget neutral. There's money appropriated in other supplies and committees.
Thank you. Good point. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution EP4 by Legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Community Development Planning Office.
Yes, this is the final payment that we owe to BTC that we had for a few years, and then last December they chose not to re-up, and this is the final payment, making it the end of it.
Thank you.
And $73,795.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP5 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing appointment to the CNY Regional Transportation Board.
Yes, this is something that we should have representation on it. We didn't have it on there for years. It is an authority of the state. The state has to appoint someone. We finally got a person on there, our mobility manager a few years ago. Then he moved out of state. So right now, Oswego County is not represented. Therefore, we are submitting our present mobility manager to be considered for a place on the Central New York Regional Transportation Board.
Thank you. That'll be interesting to see how long it takes.
Yes, it's a very long
Different
and grueling
discussion.
process.
Different discussion. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP6 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budget modification, mobility management.
Yes, we have already authorized the development of this department, and now we are modifying our budget in order to give them a budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Just to note that these funds will be made available from the unappropriated fund balance, federal aid and state aid.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving now to the Health Committee, HE1 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to accept public health infrastructure funding from Health Research Inc., New York State Department of Health, HRI/9NYSDOH.
So this is a money that totals $687,346 over 5 years to strengthen the public health workforce. It can be used for that. It can be used for hiring new staff, retention of current staff, upgrades to the workplace, provide public health training, and public health support services.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution HE2 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to increase authorization level of capital project number 134, Silk Road Action.
So, as many people are aware, maybe some of the newer, Silk Road is a landfill that's monitored. Every now and then, they come through and check everything that we do to make sure we're doing it correctly. Last year, that was waived because the readings have been very low, and we've done very well with this, but we still need to have the money available in that fund. We don't get a lot of notice when they're coming in. We have to pay the bill for them when that happens.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE3 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to reclassify public health nurse to senior program health specialist.
So this is a position that's being reclassified because of the lack of nurses. We're not able to compete against the private industry at this point to pay those type of wages. This will place someone in the program to do the shots, which is something that Tina did as a nurse. But that program can't stop. We still have families that come in for immunizations, and now and then there's still people that come in, believe it or not, for COVID shots and other programs that this position can do without being a nurse. They can take a look at that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution HE4 by legislator Carrasco.
So, Mr. Chairman, I present the following resolution for legislators for your consideration.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to use unappropriated fund balance for capital project number 0623, Shad Slade Field Station.
So the Shad Slade Field Station is the mosquito monitoring in West Monroe. It's not only used by the county, it's used by the state. It sits in an area that I thought it was kind of clever when someone told me, if you ever want to go out, make sure you're wearing boots. It's very wet. There's evidently quite a few snakes, a lot of bugs, and it's the ideal environment for what they do, but unfortunately, the station has fallen into disrepair. So this is money that they're asking to come out of our fund balance in order to repair that, put in a new well, and make that functional for the people that are using it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I was just wondering, I had asked the director why this didn't go through ARPA, and I was wondering, she said that it didn't meet the criteria. What criteria didn't it meet to be able to go through ARPA funds?
Well, the thought was on the ARPA funds that would be more transformative money, things that we necessarily wouldn't get to. It was not for physical plant maintenance items. This is a small amount of money to upgrade our mosquito surveillance facility in West Monroe. We unfortunately know all too well the dangers of mosquito-borne illnesses and the importance of mosquito monitoring. The $30,000 we're spending here is a very reasonable price to keep that site in operation and to maintain our monitoring program. It will help replace a contaminated well at the site and make other much-needed improvements on a continual basis.
So I'd also like to add to this, there's a history behind all this. You know, we're all aware that every now we lose a livestock animal to the mosquito pathogens. But if you roll back time, there actually was a young child that lost her life due to a mosquito pathogen. And this legislative body at that point kind of put their foot down and said, we're going to make sure that we're going to do whatever we have to make sure that never happens again to another family. So it is something that's necessary. It does draw the attention of the state. That's one of the reasons is because of this, if it gets out of control, we have the data to back that up so that we can ask for aerial spraying and other assistance in getting this stuff knocked back down. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Okay, moving along from infrastructure, Legislator Walpole has left for a work issue, so we'll go with IT1 by Legislator House.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of 2 positions and create a new position, Buildings and Grounds Department.
Yes, thank you.
As she said,
Pretty standard.
that's all the summary is.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution IT2 by Legislator House.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract SPEDES SWPP MSGT permit update.
I'm going to yield to our Michael Dostrinsky, Director of Solid Waste, explain that.
Yes, thank you,
This
Michael.
is what it is.
Regulatory requirement of the New York State DEC for stormwater prevention plans. This is just the engineering to get my permits in the system by June 6th.
In fact, part of the MS4 program?
No, not this one.
Oh, this is
This is just stormwater prevention.
Same preference.
Thank you, Lynn.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
All right, thank you. Moving now to Finance and Personnel, Resolution FP1 by Legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one part-time position in the Human Resources Department.
I think that's self-explanatory, they must be.
Very good. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
And I'd like to know, is this grade 7, is that the highest that you can get for that position? Human Services?
Perhaps, HR Director Bell could answer.
So again, this particular title is classified as a co-op agreement at the grade 7. So that is the particular position, we already have that existing in my department, and I thought that was most appropriate for what this job duties entailed.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by Legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 23-HR-001 compensation study.
According to the resolution, demands of prime departments, personnel, and provide new employee orientations, attend job fairs, and to process applications and exam announcements.
Thanks.
Chairman, this is a service contract in the amount of $36,000, a study that we put forth to study our compensation rates that we have today. We can go ahead and make some adjustments where we need.
Perhaps lay some framework and groundwork for looking at the overall picture.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution FP3 by Legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution amending the sexual harassment policy for the County of Oswego.
I think every year we go through this sexual harassment policy. So it's just another year.
Understood. Any discussion? Legislator Breck.
So is HR doing this? Is this part of their annual? The update. So is this update in the current training that has been sent out to everyone?
Yes, there was more verbiage within the actual policy itself, but everything that we do annually, that hasn't changed. We are still within the guidelines and regulated training for that. This is just the language updating in the model policy.
Okay, so the employees that have already went through this part of that long list of trainings that they have to do, they're fine.
They're correct. It's up. We're all still in compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP4 by Legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution pursuant to Section 206 of County Law, changing legislative office building hours for June, July, and August.
Every year we change for the summer from 8th grade until 4th.
Standard resolution every year. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution FP5 by legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution adopting an investment policy and designating banks as depositories of county funds.
This is something that has to be done every time. Investment policy and designating banks and depositories are where the money goes and it keeps track.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution FP6 by legislator Lockwood.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution relative to a home rule request.
I'm not really sure about this one.
Well, this approval of this resolution is a formal request for our state representatives to extend the county's 1% home rule sales tax. State law requires us to get approval from Albany to continue collecting the additional 1%. Sales tax revenue is shared with towns, villages, and the city of Fulton and is critical to municipal budgets. The county collects more than $60 million annually, and it distributes more than a fifth of that to local municipalities. Sales tax collections are critical to county operations, making up more than 20% of our total budget. I urge all of you to support this measure to show Albany that we're together on this request. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to have Rich explain to me 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th paragraph in there, it says that in accordance with the 1% extension in perspective, the loss of the statutory authority would result in immediate loss of $1.1 million in December sales tax revenue in the budget of 2023. How can we lose statutory authority?
Expires November 30th.
Pardon?
Our authority expires November 30th, so we lose a month of sales tax this year.
No, we wouldn't lose it completely, we're just losing it for that, that
You lose
time.
December's portion.
Yeah, you lose
And
December.
then we lose going forward unless we adopt.
Yeah, this is the special additional rate, which is the 1% of the 4 that's currently collected by the county outside of the city of Oswego. The state also has a portion of sales tax of 4%. Without the authorizing legislation, Phil's memo reflects that the rate would go away. We would be able to impose that rate. All authority to impose sales tax starts with the state of New York, and the legislature, Albany, requires municipalities to review this request periodically instead of making it permanent. So these bills are pending to extend the additional rate, the special additional rate. This resolution requests home rule request to the powers that be in Albany to adopt that and continue the rate as it currently exists.
Thank you. Legislator Castillo.
Now I'd like to make some comments here, Mr. Chairman and fellow legislators. At a time when everything in this country, in this county, is going up, and we're hearing they're taxing us on this, they're taxing us on that. And here, right now in front of us, we have a chance to save the constituents of this county 1% at the cash register. Now, 1% may not seem like much, but I know that people will look at it and say, well, how much are we going to lose in sales tax revenue? If that happens, I had it figured out. I know that that $120 million split 50-50 is figured on a $1.5 billion sales. So with that being said, if you put it down, the state would get 57% and the county would get 43%. And I know that everybody's going to say, well, here you are, you're want us to lose money and it's gonna cost the taxpayer. What we have done in the past, ever since I've been here in 2014, is that instead of reducing the cost of the legislature, we have increased the tax somewhere, some way. And I voted against this 2 years ago. In fact, 4 years ago I voted against it. And I can't be in favor of a time when we need a break and we need somebody to show us the way to save money at the cash register. And we can make adjustments to pick up the difference in what we would lose. And I know that it's not a large amount, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 7% of the total budget, even maybe a little bit less. But that could be saved with saving on raises throughout the whole county for our elected officials. But that's for another discussion if we so choose to reduce this. But I would vote to reduce this to 7%, and I would make a motion now to reduce it to 7%. Or no, I don't even have to make a motion. I'm just going to, I think we should be voting no on this to save the taxpayers' money. There should be a resolution on it.
Thank you. Legislator Gilson.
Yeah, it's this very type of mentality that helps us keep the cost down of property taxes in the county. We have a history of being conscious of those taxes, and we've actually reduced the tax rate for 14, 15 years in a row. By having use taxes such as this, that not only people that are spending the money pay the sales tax, but people from outside the area that come here because of our great tourist attractions, and help us maintain this county. A vote for this is a vote to keep the property taxes low.
Yes, it does go directly to the tax. Legislator Price.
So we just passed a resolution for a compensation plan. We all understand the people that come to the podium, we all understand, the people are trying to look at wage. There's been a lot of discussion about grades that people are being paid today. And then we're going to have a conversation that we're going to give up 25% of the sales tax revenue without knowing where this compensation thing is going to take us. We've made a commitment to try to make things right, make a fair playing field, and I don't see how we're going to be able to do both. And again, property taxes are an important issue in this county. We have a track record that we should try to retain. There is a point down the road, they say it's going to take 20 years to build it, but we want to attract people to come into Oswego County. We have a lot to offer. We have water, we have an airport, we have power, we have employees. We've checked most of the boxes. Property taxes show a trend of fiscal responsibility by this legislative body, and I do not think that we should be crossing that line at this point. I think this needs to be supported completely. If I had my way, we should add another 0.5% to it. I think we've got a bumpy road coming up, trying to do everything that we're talking about and keep our property taxes low and keep our employees satisfied. This is an answer that at least we keep that continuity as we walk forward as a body. Thank you.
Thank you. As a bit of a correction to what's been stated, it's 20% of our total budget, not 7%.
Right.
Legislator Gray.
Yeah, I would like to just add to what Mr. Gilson was saying. This sales tax spreads the burden across the entire county of constituents, not just the property owners. And for a man who sat here the entire meeting talking about giving people raises, where is this money going to come from, right? You're going to raise the property taxes of everybody? Oh, that's right, you're a senior, you don't pay as much, right? So the burden on families in this county, between the school taxes, the town taxes, the city taxes, and the county taxes are overwhelming. And you suggest that we take money away from sales tax and then charge it to the homeowners again? Is that what you're suggesting? And you think that the little bit of money that the elected officials in this county make is going to make up some sort of large fund? It's pittance, and you know it. answer that.
Legislator Evans.
Look, I agree with everything that my fellow legislators have said. Just one added point, again, when we think about sales tax and the county collecting sales tax, we share that with the local municipalities as well. So when we cut our own sales tax, we're also not cutting our revenue, we're cutting their revenue too. So when we go about cutting things and cutting that revenue coming out in, and we vote for it, the legislators that vote for cutting the sales tax, please go out and explain to the municipalities why they're going to receive less money and now have to actually crank up their taxes on their constituents because we decided to be short-sighted today.
Thank you. Legislator Castillo.
Let's see now, there's 4 items up here. There's a kid here. Now, let's put it into perspective. In 2022, budgeted for sales tax revenue was 49 million, I believe. Okay, and we brought in 62 million. Budgeted this year is 54 million. We're already a million ahead for the month. And your treasurer will tell you, do not count on your sales tax. If you do, it's going to bite you. So what I'm asking is I'm asking you to stop biting the taxpayer and to say that because of our large, over what, 11 million extra sales tax, our real property tax, generic tax rate went down, is a little bit misleading in that we also raised our assessed value by, I think it was 17 million, which reduced our generic tax rate, which I don't know about the rest of you, but I know that the chairman, you said that you paid less in taxes, but my county taxes, because I'm not that much of a senior, went up $400. And there's other people throughout the whole county that have said that their taxes went up, not went down because of the sales tax revenue. So I'm asking the legislature to give the taxpayer a break at the cash register because they are paying more in property taxes. They're paying, I would be paying $500 more in school taxes if I was paying school taxes because the school went to 100% of the true assessed value.
We're not, sir, you understand that we're not involved in the school tax.
No, but I thought it was brought up to me that the school taxes are going to go up, this is going to go up, everything's going to go up if we don't forward, if we don't put through this 1%. Okay, I'm sorry. We will be closer to what we'll actually get. We'll be somewhere around, if we remove that 1%, we're going to receive somewhere around 49 million, maybe even 50 million, which is only going to be 4 million off of what we had projected.
Call for a vote.
Excuse me, point of order on your conversation. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Because you said that do not rely on sales tax. You have been here when we did not take in as much sales tax as we expected. So we should not rely on it. But yet you want to rely on it in your other side of your conversation. It does not make sense. The vote's been called for. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution FP7 was a resolution amending the management compensation plan for 2023. We have pulled that for further discussion, and we'll revisit that at a later time. Any miscellaneous business? Legislator Brown.
Just want a point of clarity, and I'm going to make it every time it's said in this chamber. We do not do assessments.
Fair point.
I don't know how to make that clear. Unless I missed a whole series of meetings and we hired an assessment department, we have nothing to do with that number. That is a number we work off of.
Privately, I wish we did do assessments.
Don't wait a moment.
It's a joke. All right, any other miscellaneous business?
Mike had his hand up.
Who did?
Mike.
Paul, Mr. Yurden, legislator Yurden.
Well, one quick thing about tax assessment. you look at the roles countywide, there's very, very few communities set to 100%. So when that happens, the equalization rate on your property drops. So you will pay, many times you'll pay more than you did last year because your percent equalization rate changes, so your percent becomes greater when the equalization rate drops. So that's why everybody likes to be at 100%. I don't think there's more than 1 or 2 towns in the whole county at 100%. So that has an effect on how you pay the taxes too. So there's a lot more to it than just.
There's a lot of components to that. Any other miscellaneous business? Thank you. At this time, Legislator House.
Yeah, we need to waive the rules for the following resolutions only: GC 8, GC 9, and HS 9.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on now to Resolution GC8 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement with the Oswego County Board of Cooperative Educational Services, City BOCES, regarding the P-TECH program for the 2023-24 City BOCES fiscal year.
Okay, will continue to chair the legislature is authorized to enter into an agreement with the City BOCES and accept the funds to the county attorney and provide funding to the City BOCES P-TECH for the program of 23-24 in the amount of $434,400.
Yes, thank you. During the budget process, we had set aside $434,000 to expand the P-TECH program at City BOCES. This measure approves an agreement with City BOCES to finalize that deal, which will provide students with a high school diploma and a 2-year degree and the skills to work in high-tech fields. The P-TECH program is an excellent pathway for many Oswego County students, and this expansion will help develop a local workforce for Micron and other related companies. Having said that, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstentions.
At this point, I would like to again present the check that we will be facsimile to the check to P-TECH for $434,000, and I think we all should be proud of that. Thank you. Moving now to Resolution GC9 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing a director to the Board of Directors of the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation pursuant to Racing Car Mutual Wagering and Breeding Law 502.
It's resolved that Michael Bartle, a resident of the town of Hastings, be and is hereby appointed and as a member of the Board of Directors of the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation, effective immediately, to serve at the pleasure of this legislature and the pursuant to racing, Prairie, Hotel, Wagering, and Breeding Law 502.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gill.
Yeah, I would just note that I think it's very important that we, Oswego County, be represented in our
Thank you. Nancy, move to that end. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I request the fourth whereas be stricken. It is not applicable. The fourth whereas the comment indicates he wishes to resign. This is being done because of state legislative enactment.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yeah. So a bit of an edit. The fourth whereas indicates that he wishes to resign from that Board of Directors. That's not true. The governor had disbanded the entire board, and we're all just replacing their members. So we'll need an amendment to that. Amended. Second. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused for the amendment.
Okay, thank you. So back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 5 abstentions.
Thank you. Moving now to Resolution HS9 by legislative meeting.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services.
This resolution is a recommendation from the county attorney, the county administrator to establish a supervisory attorney for the DSS legal service. And that's what it was for.
Any discussion?
I would note, Mr. Chairman, that this is 75% funded by federal and state funds.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 5 abstentions.
All right, thank you. Looking for the appropriate motion? Motion. Approved. We're adjourned. Legislator House, is there any public comment?